What is Gucci, everybody? My name is Thor, and today we are talking about 5 tricks you can learn before the Ollie. Let's get into it. Okay, if you've ever skated with me in person, or if you've watched, maybe more than one of my videos, then I guarantee you've seen me do this first trick, and it is a NoComply 180. NoComply 180 is a very easy to learn NoComply trick. I think I learned it in probably less than 5 minutes. Obviously wasn't very great, but over time I've gotten better at it, and now it's one of my absolute favorite tricks to do of all time. Not to mention, I love doing NoComply tricks just in general, so there will be so many that I would do on a day-to-day basis. I'll probably do at least like 10 different variations of them, just in one session. I'll only be trying to do a NoComply 180 just, to get back to the starting point. And then in between a flat bar session, I'll take, 25 minutes to just do a bunch of flat ground NoComply tricks. It's kind of obnoxious. Just to show off a couple of the different NoComply variations I like to do, here's a little montage of them. About the NoComply 180 is I never really thought about it, more than a second. I was like, okay, whatever, just quick little NoComply trick. And after learning that, I just slowly over time fell in love with NoComply tricks. And it's definitely one that you don't have to have an Ollie for, and it's very fun to do. And man, I could spend all day doing a NoComply 180. Just you'll step off, NoComply 180, do it, man. Oh, I'm in love with that trick. I love it so much. Hopefully all you will too. So for this next trick coming up, we have the Hippie Jump. Now, when I was filming these clips, because I do the talking section sometimes before or after, and in this case, doing it after. When I was filming these clips, I actually didn't have anything to do with Hippie Jump over, but normally you would do it maybe on like a rail, like your board goes under and you kind of go over. Another fun thing to do with the Hippie Jump is actually to do a little 180 in the air, and this is called a sex change. I didn't want to make these two separate tricks because the only thing that's different about these two individual tricks is one's with the 180 in the air, and then another's just, Ollie, like doing a little jump on your skateboard. But yeah, so this is definitely just a very beginner trick to do, and it's kind of one of those that you don't really need to learn it, but it's just one everyone should at some point, and no better time than before the Ollie. So for the old school kickflip, but the thing about the old school kickflip, this is actually one that I kind of learned, I think, from a meme. I think I saw it like 4 or 5 years ago, just like on Instagram or like YouTube. I just saw someone do it, and I was like, oh my god, bro, that was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. What was that trick? Like, I wasn't like impressed by the trick itself. I was more impressed by like what it was, as opposed to, like a regular kickflip. Because this is around the time when like kooky tricks, just I wasn't aware of them as much. Nowadays I'm doing the trendiest, kookiest tricks ever, but when I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, things like that, like these kind of tricks just weren't in my mind at all. So when I first saw that, I was like, oh my god, that was crazy. The old school kickflip is probably the hardest one on this list, but it could be the easiest one. It really depends how you do it yourself and how it plays out for you. For me, I think it probably took me a good half an hour to learn. Yes, I know, half an hour. Make fun of me all you want. I know I have friends that are like, bro, I learned that shit first try. And I'm like, cool, I did not. Yeah, the old school kickflip is one of those ones that even without an Ollie, it still looks really cool. And you're like, oh man, this guy just did an actual flip trick. Like, his feet didn't come off the board, nothing. Like, that was pretty, that was like a real trick. So yeah, old school kickflip, whether you love it, whether you hate it, here it is. So for the next one on my list, I have the Change Reverb. And this kind of correlates a lot with the Hippie Jump and the sex change I said. Really all it is you're doing the Hippie Jump 180, so the sex change, and then landing on your nose and pivoting the other way, a little 180. I can do it both front side and back side, but I kind of prefer to when my sex change goes backside. I don't know why, it's just easier that way for me and a lot more fun. Whereas if I do like front side, it feels a lot more like, you know, sex change, stop, pivot. Whereas if I go backside, it feels a lot more like a fluid motion. That's not to say you can't do it very, very well front side. I just can't. This is definitely one of those tricks that when you see it, you're a little confused at what you just saw. It kind of takes like, you're like, okay, wait, I just see that in the glimpse of my eye. What is he doing? Like 180, what's going on? And so you kind of watch it other times and you're like, wow, that looks actually kind of hard. But when you try it, you're like, wow, you know what, this isn't too difficult, I can do that. And so it's definitely another fun trick that you don't have to have the ollie to do. And I really recommend learning this trick. It's not really one that I do too often, but I do have a lot of fun with it when I do it. And last but not least, we have the shove it. Now this has been in my 5 tricks to learn after the ollie, which will be in that corner right there. And I think I also put it in my 5 beginner tricks to learn, like 5 first flat ground tricks, whatever video it's called. I can't remember if it's in there, but I know for a fact it's in the 5 tricks to learn after the ollie. And the reason I'm putting it in the 5 tricks to learn before the ollie is because you don't actually need to know the ollie. Most people learn the ollie before the pop shove it. But in this case, I'm talking just to shove it. You don't need to pop it, you can, but just to shove it, you just kind of like whoosh it, kind of just scoop it. And it's honestly just like a lot of fun. Like I'm not really good at shove-its or pop shove-its, but I do have a lot of fun just kind of whooshing it, like going pretty fast, or just kind of and then kind of go, ignore that sound effect. But I do have a lot of fun with the shove it, not to mention it's a huge stepping stone for other tricks once you go past the ollie and things like that. It's just a big foundational trick that I really feel is important for me to mention in this video. Every single trick that I mentioned, there are tricks that stack with it and correlate. So you can do like a NoComply 180, like, you know, sex change. You can do like pop shove it sex change, things like that. All the tricks in this video will correlate with another one in some sort of way, because that's the beauty of skateboarding, is everything is intertwined and you can do whatever you want. It's just absolute freedom, and I'm so obsessed with the sport. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to do these 5 trick, 5 tights videos like every once in a while. I really enjoy making them, not to mention they kind of help out people, and you know, especially beginners and new people that are trying to learn more tricks. So I have a lot of fun doing them, as well as if they help, that's an awesome added bonus. But if you did like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment below telling me what you think. Hit that corner to watch my previous video. I upload videos every 4 to 5 days, and I'll see you all in 4 to 5 days with a new video.